Hi and welcome to City Life, the show that brings you an alternative look at what the UK's major cities have to offer. Today we're in Glasgow, considered one of the UK's trendiest cities. In tonight's show we'll be looking at the new art scene in Chez Camille, checking out retro fashion at Mr Ben's and chilling out in Mono, a hub for live music and great food.
Glasgow is often thought of as Scotland's unofficial capital and attracts 3 million tourists a year. The people of Glasgow are famous for their friendliness, their sense of humour and of course their accents. However, today we're going to show you some of the city's hidden delights. So Cass, where are you off to first?
I'm with Mr Ben, so I'll catch you at the end of the programme.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Started about 10 years ago when I had collected so much vintage clothing that I ran out of space to store it and thought, what on earth am I going to do with this? So I decided to open up a shop. In Mr Ben we tend not to try and compete with the high street. We don't have to compete with the high street simply because our customers have a very individual sense of style. Coming into vintage clothes shops like this, they don't want to look high street, so we just try and be as different as we possibly can, and that's really not a terribly difficult thing to do, to be honest with you. In Mr Ben we've had a few celebrity shoppers, but I'm not naming any names. Lots of famous bands, lots of famous actors, lots of famous actresses. It really is. Sometimes it's surprising. You're just standing there behind the desk and suddenly you're presented by Hollywood stars. You name it, they've all been in here. We've got a very wide and varied range. We go from the earliest garment, 1780, right up to the 1980s. We do the full gamut and we do a lot of male and obviously female as well. You're guaranteed to see something that you've never seen before. You're guaranteed to try on something you've never tried before. It's just fun. That's what it is, just a fun place to visit in Glasgow and different. That's why you should come.
Well, I'm sold on retro fashion at Mr Ben's. I wonder what the people of Glasgow think.
Being a visitor as well, you really notice the style that's prevalent in, like, for instance, like let's say it's the 80s kind of look that everyone's wearing, and you really notice it here, whereas in Canada it's far more casual.
I love vintage clothing. I think it's great. I love the old 60s and 70s stuff. If it's okay quality, then you'd be as well buying it than buying new stuff that's kind of all the same.
I think especially students and things are getting into their second-hand shops and things, and there's quite a lot of individual styles going about.
I buy clothes that I quite like, and I just happen to like sort of old looking clothes. You know, I like the fact that they've got a lot of character to them, and I feel that sometimes when you wear new clothes you have to break them in. With vintage clothes you just buy them as they are and you kind of carry it on.
With wearing vintage you're looking for something that's really unique and unusual, and one of a kind generally as well, not everywhere or not mass produced.
Quite a positive response there. It just goes to show that shopping in Glasgow is not just about the big high street names, but also the smaller, independently owned stores like Mr Ben's. I wonder how Adam's getting on in Mono.
Mono, hidden in Glasgow's King's Court, is an old circular warehouse with a unique glass skylight which creates a light, airy space, enhancing the extrovert art and decor. High above the cafe is a platform containing half a dozen giant chrome vats filled with home-brewed ginger beer and lemonade. Mono is a relaxing space to sit, eat, drink, read, and listen to rare and independent music.
I think a certain percentage of our clientele come here, specifically for the food, because it is hard to be vegan in Glasgow. But I think a whole lot of people come here for a lot of different reasons as well. You know, a lot of people who aren't vegans come here to eat as well, just because they like the place, you know. And a lot of people come here because of the music, and through all that, people kind of find out about veganism or become interested in it, then that's a good thing. You know?
Mono is the only place in Scotland to serve strictly vegan food, including courgette and sweet potato cakes and spicy bean burgers. And you can be sure everything on the menu is pure, organic, freshly prepared cuisine. Mono attracts people from all over the world, and it's not just for the great food.
We seem to be in a lot of travel guides. We seem to be quite a lot of travel guides. Most of them come in here with their books, you know. I think we're also, actually, there's a certain segment of the tourist trade that come in here are kind of music tourists. They come here because they're probably the first reason they come to Glasgow is because of rock music and finding out about bands, and then they've kind of read that this place is connected to it in a way.
Monomart lets customers take home a variety of organic products. Monorail, the in-house independent record store, specialises in music not available in your local high street stores.
I don't think there's any pretensions with Monorail. I don't think we want to be a cool shop or anything. I just think that we just want to sell good quality records and help our customers find new sounds. I think most people would be able to find something that they like here. My old boss came in here for the first time the other day and he didn't think he would find anything, but he found quite a lot of stuff in the older section. We try and sell a little bit of everything. There's a lot of nice reissues that have come out this month. I think a lot of customers are loyal to the shop. Even if they can buy something somewhere else, they'll wait to buy it here because they know that we really value their custom, we really pay attention to their taste in music and look out for things that they might like in the future.
Now that was definitely a new experience for me. And for those who want something a little bit different, Mono's alternative music nights, vegan food and independent records definitely put it in a class of its own.
My name is Camille Arrigo and I am the founder of Chez Camille, which is a showroom in Glasgow, but for Scotland, for fashion design, furniture, art, music, all the different great things that are going on in Glasgow so the public can actually come and see them for themselves. It's not a gallery, it's not a shop, it's something that really is kind of interactive and social, so I wanted to give a place people could go and actually network, collaborate, show their work and kind of see something different, I suppose, challenge them. For me, it's about not being a perfect shop, not being white wall and slick design. So it's about getting people to appreciate that these people actually work hard and this is why they do it, not for the money, for the passion, and kind of understand why it's actually nicer to have things produced locally, ethically, that are made just for them and actually have a bit of soul to them. Because I think that's what it comes down to, is you can't fake soul. In a lot of places, any other shop you go to, it doesn't have soul. You can't have soul if you're a franchise, it's just not. So. We've got soul, that's why we're different.
Chez Camille hosts a number of exhibitions throughout the year. The current exhibition is called Hibernation.
It's a bit walk in the woods, it's a bit kind of scratching on a bed and pulling on something to keep cozy. We've got some sheets here that are a bit sort of, this is the whole idea, they've escaped from bed, they've crawled out the window and this is where they've ended up. We've got the forest has come to play, all kinds of things to snuggle up in. So it's kind of just being atmospheric. It's about taking a space and saying we've got a really nice open space. You might as well do something with it and something that kind of inspires people. Personally, I'm a poet, so my biggest love is words. I think people don't read books, let alone poetry anymore, so finding art and design and literature and kind of putting them all together, because somehow it's not seen as the same as an art, as a fine art, which to me it is. So watch this space.
Getting around in Glasgow couldn't be easier. You can jump in a taxi which costs £7 for up to 3 miles, buses cost £2 for most rides, and alternatively you can take the underground, which at £1 is the cheapest way to travel.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how was your day?
Yeah, it was great, thanks.
Good. As you can see, there's a lot more to Glasgow than meets the eye, and hopefully you'll get here yourself soon.
Well, that's just about all for us today on City Life. If you'd like any more information on today's programme, please visit our website, which is www.channel4.com/citylife. Next week we're going to be in Manchester, home of the Manchester music scene and one of Europe's largest student populations.
Until next week, we'll see you later.